We're Naik and Kim, a Belgian couple who had been traveling the world for over a year before we came to Taiwan to escape the pandemic in March. We spent close to 5 months here now, exploring Taiwan's beautiful nature, enjoying the local cuisine, and making new friends. But today we will be making our way home to Belgium, where we're gonna catch up with friends and family before we hit the road again with a new plan in a few weeks. We have a long 27-hour travel day ahead of us today, flying from Taipei to Dubai and then onwards to Brussels, baby.
Good evening, welcome to Taipei in Taiwan.
Last time we're gonna say this because today we are flying out of Taipei, out of Taiwan, and going to our home country of Belgium.
Belgium.
Belgium. In Chinese, it's gonna take us a while to get there, 27 hours.
It's going to be about 27 hours going from here door to door in Belgium to our final destination where we'll be quarantining for 2 weeks. But yeah, today we're going to take the airplane from Taipei to Dubai and then to Brussels. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting journey because we are flying now in the middle of August during the pandemic.
We do not really know what to expect. Of course, we did some research. We are flying with Emirates. It's not gonna be quite business as usual, but...
Nope, for sure not. But actually, yeah, we did some research about what requirements we have of flying with Emirates. But to be honest, I have no idea what the flight will look like or what it will be like. So we're gonna find out with you guys.
We're gonna find out. First, we're gonna take these huge backpacks, which have never ever been this heavy or this full.
Yeah, we accumulated some stuff during our 5 months here in Taiwan.
Some stuff, including 250 face masks and like 2 liters of hand sanitizer, just in case they don't have that much of it and we run out of it in Belgium. But anyway, I also feel like this little weight strap is a little more tight than the last time I put it on.
Did we get everything?
I think so.
I don't see any obvious missing, and by the weight of my backpack, I think we have enough stuff.
I think we have more than enough. I think we have much more than we need.
It's almost 7:15. Our flight is in a little bit less than 4 hours, so we have plenty of time. But it will take us about 1 hour to get to the airport because we're taking the metro. And yeah, I guess we just want to be in time.
Fortunately, the MRT is very close, very close to the apartment we are in. So it's not gonna take us too long. Good God, can't even fit through this door properly.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds to get there. That is gonna be a tight squeeze. Doors closing. Am I in?
So far so good. We made it to Taipei main station. It was just a couple of metro stops. Now we have to figure out how to transfer here onto the, what's called, the Taiwan Airport MRT. So yeah, we're gonna figure it out now and hopefully we can get there soon.
Should be another 40 minutes probably.
Yeah, it should be about 40 minutes. I mean, it's pretty nice that you have a pretty much a direct metro from the main station direct to the airport.
Because an Uber is much more expensive. Oh my God, what are we gonna do now?
So we made it to the airport. It's where the adventure begins, but there's a warning sign. No camera drones, makes sense. Lanterns?
Not really that useful in the airport.
No, maybe they mean like the fire lanterns, but also not breeding pigeons.
Damn it.
Please don't tell anybody I'm breeding pigeons in my backpack.
That really takes all the fun out of flying. What are we gonna do with the pigeons now? It's too late to put them back on the MRT. They won't find their way back to the main station. Ruku, mother.
We have come full circle now, back to where we started 5
In the
months
departure hall?
Actually, we were here. I came here to get a trolley for us, like right over there. And that is the place where we were queuing for the taxi stand.
When we arrived in Taiwan.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is where we started.
So we've been here before apparently, but it is like, look how empty it is. I mean, there are a few people around, way over there in the back, but still.
Almost nobody here.
This is like peak holiday season in Taiwan.
Yeah, but people are not allowed to travel from Taiwan to other places. Just people going home, I guess, like us who are leaving Taiwan.
Alright, it seems this is us.
Yeah, we are flying with Emirates, really happy about that. In case you're wondering about the price of the flights was 500 euros per person in one way from Taipei to Brussels with a stop in Dubai because there's no direct flights. It's a bit more expensive than usual. It's also a one-way flight, which are usually more expensive. The only thing that's a bit annoying, well, what was a bit annoying to us, is that suddenly after we had booked it announced you need a negative COVID-19 test. It costs more than 200 euros per person to do here, so our flight cost went from 500 to more than 700, which is pretty steep. But the advantage is that everybody on flight has been tested in the last 4 days, so the risk of getting COVID on specifically this flight is pretty much zero because there's almost no transmissions in the last 110 days. So yeah, I mean, it's 200 euros extra, but it's also a big peace of mind that everybody on the flight here and from Dubai to Brussels as well has been tested in the last 4 days. So well, a few people, a bit more than I expected probably, but so far nothing really special about the airport. I would say I don't see any
Bunch of face masks.
specific special measurements being taken, just people wearing face masks. For the rest it seems pretty normal so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just passed through security and the passport check. We are now in what can only be described as Naik's version of heaven. We are at the tax-free, duty-free
They have
whiskey
wine
shop.
and whiskey, mainly whiskey.
You
I haven't
love
drank
whiskey.
whiskey in a long time. I bought a little gift, bottle of whiskey
For yourself?
for myself. So we'll be going in quarantine for 2 weeks and we're not allowed to go outside. I thought maybe it would be nice to have like something nice to drink, and I really like whiskey. And then I saw a bottle that I've been wanting for a long time, a bit of a special one. Explain that maybe in a video when we are in quarantine, because we'll make a video or two about the quarantine. I'd show it to you, but they sealed the bag and then taped it and everything, so I'm just not gonna tamper with it. I'll show it to you when we get to Belgium.
This bit is like almost completely
It's
empty.
one person over, and then okay, in the distance I can see some people, but still it's like, and all these duty-free shops are still open. People who work there standing and like
Hanging around.
But I contributed a little bit to the economy of the airport here.
Nothing but great news here, folks. We are here. This is the B7 gate, and that is our airplane. Our flight is here, which means chances of it getting delayed or cancelled are minimal at
Pretty
this
low
stage.
now, yeah. So far I think it's been very plain.
The experience? Yeah. Oh my god, what a horrible pun.
It's quite, I mean, so far it's been quite uneventful. There's nothing special except, I mean, we had to get the COVID test done, but that was because we're specifically flying to Dubai. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as any Taiwan miles, except that there's no crowds and there's almost no queuing as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty much the same. I think our biggest worry that with our flight would get cancelled.
Yeah, because you can still hear quite a lot of horror stories about flights getting cancelled. If you look online, flights getting cancelled, people not getting refunds. Oh my god. Historic moment here in Taiwan, people. Naik is putting on his sweater. How long has it been since you last wore a sweater? We were at the top of Mount Riwanshan, probably.
Oh yeah.
But that was at 3,000 meters of altitude, so.
And yeah, I think the days we were in Taipei, like 4th and 5th of April, probably.
Yeah,
other than
the
that,
very first days.
Not.
Anyway, one of our main concerns was that our flight would get cancelled because we heard all sorts of horror stories about that still happening
Yeah.
quite frequently.
And people not getting refunds.
Not
and-
getting refunds,
yeah.
even months into the
And
pandemic.
if you have to book again, you have to pay again, and if that one gets cancelled, you're out more money. So
That didn't happen to us, fortunately, but there were some roadblocks
yeah.
to getting here. The incredible world of pandemic international air travel. It's not a nice world, people. It's not a nice world.
We booked it, and then a few days later, cases start to rise again in Belgium.
Yesterday evening, we learned about having to present a negative COVID-19 test when boarding the flight, which initially also wasn't one of the requirements.
We received an email saying our flight had been changed 1 day, so we thought, well, 1 day, doesn't matter, it's 1 day later. But then when I looked into it, suddenly our layover in Dubai, which is where we're having a stopover, isn't 4 but 28 hours. Which yeah, in this time, it's not really good to
We don't
do
want to
that,
be stuck at an airport for 28 hours. That's just not the
Yeah.
safest environment right now. That is the great thing about traveling with Emirates though, especially during this time. They're going out of their way to not make things too difficult for people beyond what they have to do, they have this policy that says for all flights booked before the 31st of July, if for any reason related to the pandemic you have to cancel your flight or your flight is canceled, there are lockdowns in your destination that you're going to all of a sudden, that you can reschedule your flight to some point within the next 24 months, flying between the same regions. And that's a big part of the reason why we chose them. We rebooked. We're gonna leave 2 days later.
We would like to remind you to wear your face mask all the time and keep 2 meters distance from other passengers.
Looks like it is just about time to board the first flight.
They're going to organize it in different zones, so now that the first zone is going, we have to wait. We're zone E, I guess we'll be up after
so that
this
we
one.
won't be queuing with too many people. We're gonna trade in our surgical masks for the N95s that we got from one of our viewers. Kate, if you're watching this, thank you so much. She sent them to us to make sure that we had the best mask possible for the flight to reduce any risk even further. So really big thank you, Kate. We appreciate it. We're gonna put them on.
It'll be the first time wearing this N95 mask.
You have to disinfect your hands though.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. We request all passengers sit in Zone C and Zone D passenger to board ahead first.
Is it comfy?
Yeah,
Less than the surgical mask, I would guess. But
it pushes down on my nose a little bit more because this is like fixed. Maybe a little bit easier to breathe because there's like a bit of space between the mask and your face.
in your mouth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
We're not sitting next to each other, but opposite sides of the aisle, I think.
This is my spot. That is my spot.
There's one seat in between every person at least. A lot of people have 2 seats in between. Pretty safe, but they ask you to keep 2 meter distance, which is pretty much impossible.
Actually, I'm quite happy with my seating arrangement here. I have no one around me, no one in the row in front of me, no one else on my row, and I think we're finished boarding. The crew is in full protective gear, so they have they have face masks, some of them have a face shield in addition to that, or some goggles. They have the protective gowns and gloves and everything.
So we got this travel hygiene kit with some gloves, face mask, hand sanitizer and bacterial wipes. And then this kit with socks to keep your feet warm, a mask for sleeping, and most importantly, a sticker you can put on your seat like "Do not disturb, wake me up for food" or "Wake me up for duty free." Wake me up for food anytime, baby.
Put it on your head to be sure, like on your forehead.
50 features of this Emirates flight, and we need your full attention.
Hello. I switched seats. I'm now actually in front of Kim because that row is completely empty and somebody was sitting like 1 seat from me. Just brought us some dinner. Had a nice glass of red wine. Just finishing it up now. I'm now eating my dessert. It was super delicious. The food was really good.
The food with Emirates is just amazing. I was so not gonna have the food. I was like, there is no way in hell I'm taking my face mask off. Everyone will be having food, taking their face masks off. I was like, why the heck would I do that? But then they brought the food out and I smelled it and I was like, no, I was really hungry and I was like, fine, I'll take the mask off. Since everyone is having the dinner, I will take the mask off. I was really nervous about this flight. And just in general, not just about this flight, but about, you know, going back home and leaving like the almost COVID-free world that is Taiwan, that is so safe because you know that the chances of getting COVID-19 in Taiwan are super low. One moment, I have to return my tray. So I thought just coming onto this flight, like going back into the real world where that is more of a real risk would be super scary. But actually I feel super safe on this flight. To all the measures that they're taking, if you have to fly, definitely highly recommend flying with Emirates. I'm just so super relieved that I feel this safe on this airplane. 5 hours or so after we went to sleep. How did you sleep?
I slept.
You slept.
It was okay, I guess. Now it is breakfast time. It's currently 6 a.m. I think. Well, at least in Taiwan now it's 6 a.m. In about 1.5 hours we're gonna arrive at 8 a.m. in Dubai, but it will be 4 a.m. in Dubai when we arrive.
So this is the breakfast that I took the scrambled egg option. It looks rather good actually. I do feel the imprint of the N95 mask on my face, like I can feel it on my nose that I've been wearing it for a long time, but I think it seals off pretty well. So now we're at Dubai airport and we're gonna see...
Yeah, we have about a 4-hour layover or 4 hour between flights.
What's the status? 8-1 Brussels. Gate B.
Yeah, let's head to Gate B then, shall we?
Looks like we're gonna get home today.
Seems they've taken a lot of measures to make it safer here.
Hence your Smurf hands.
Oh yeah, we need to wear gloves in the Dubai airport.
There's an army of Smurfs here. Look at that, over there, a bunch of guys all in full protective gear.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird, they have like these blue plastic overalls. It's probably a group traveling or something, but yeah.
That's probably a bunch of foreign workers who are traveling home, I would guess.
Yay, what is it? Latte cappuccino?
Latte.
Latte. Could use a little bit of coffee because I'm
coffee.
becoming a little bit incoherent. The lack of sleep is starting to get to me. Whew. Careful, it's hot, but it is good. Really the good stuff.
Time is it? Almost 5 a.m. so
Only 3 hours and 20 more minutes.
3 hours and 20 minutes till we leave, but about probably 2 hours till we need to get to the gate. Gonna drink my coffee before I fall asleep again.
So while we wait during our layover, a message for you from the Smurfs. We just want to take a moment to talk to you about Surfshark. You may know them from one of our previous videos. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. They're a VPN service that we've been using for over a year now.
Surfshark is a VPN provider. It's a virtual private network that keeps you safe while you browse online. If you connect to a public Wi-Fi,
Like for example now, in this airport.
you're potentially putting out lots of sensitive information like your passwords and your banking information when you log into that on a public Wi-Fi, which can be used by hackers to steal your identity or gain access to your bank accounts, which everybody wants to avoid.
And that is why we use a VPN, because what a VPN basically does is it encrypts your internet traffic, the internet traffic you send either from your phone or your laptop onto the internet, so that you can browse more securely and so that all your data remains secure. There are a whole range of other ways you can use a VPN. For example, if you like to watch Netflix and you are in the US, you will probably find that you cannot watch the show Friends because it's not available in the Netflix US library.
Or if you're outside of the US and you want to gain access to the US, which is one of the most elaborate libraries out there, you can just change your location to the US and you can gain access to a lot of new content on Netflix.
A VPN is probably something that's gonna come in handy for you. And we've been using Surfshark for over a year now. We're super happy with them. The connection is really fast, really reliable, and they're really easy to use.
And the great thing about Surfshark is that they're one of the only VPN providers that allow you to use unlimited devices. So we just have one account that we use for all our devices, all our cell phones, all our laptops. Surfshark is offering our viewers 85% off. And on top of that, you get 3 months for free. So for just $199 per month, you get access to all their VPN services.
There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no harm, no risk for you in trying it out.
You can just try it out for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it or ask your money back and you won't have to pay anything.
Use the link in the description box below to grab the discount. think these are our seats?
Yeah, I think this looks like economy class. Pretty sure these are our seats. I'm just gonna sit down here.
It looks like this flight is going to be a lot more crowded than the last one.
Pretty busy.
As you may have noticed, we have changed our seats because there were a bunch of people in the front in the previous part of the cabin where we were sitting, but there is almost no one here.
No. So it's a bit of a strange seating arrangement because where we were sitting, there were a bunch of people sitting close to each other. There were people sitting right in front of me, which is like, I don't know, less than a meter, like 60 centimeters from me.
And also there were a bunch of people in our initial part of the cabin that were not wearing their face masks at all.
Yeah.
Like I would say at least 15, maybe more percent of people weren't wearing them, and we signaled it to the Emirates crew, and they mentioned it to a few passengers.
Yeah, we have to be on this plane for 7 hours, and it's one of the rules for safety. So
the only moment you're actually supposed to not be wearing it is when you're eating. The cabin crew has to remind them. They put it on until they're out of sight and take it back off again. So for that reason, I do have to say that, like, for us, it's quite comfortable and it feels safe being on this flight because we came from Taipei, and then in Dubai, everyone that flies out of there as well has to have the negative COVID-19 test, and because of all those measures that Emirates puts in place. But one of the main things, aside from the COVID-19 test, is a face mask. That's just a thought. I would feel safer, even though it's more expensive if you have to fly with a company that also makes every passenger do the COVID-19 test. But for me, I'd just do it. I'd cough up the money. No coughing. That will make you look suspicious. Do not cough.
appetizer with some Middle Eastern salads, vegetarian meal, and
What looks like a tiramisu?
It looks like, yeah, something like a tiramisu. Nice little glass of red wine. Depending on which time zone you're counting, it's now a good time to drink red wine or a very bad time. I think if you count...
It's good time.
It's good time, man.
Ooh, that looks good.
Oh, it smells really good.
Oh yeah. So getting into Belgium was pretty easy actually.
Super easy. You had to fill in a form before you get there, where you would do your quarantine and where you had been and where you would landing and which flight. And you just give that to
Border control.
border control. That's it.
That's it. So they don't check you for symptoms, they don't ask for a negative test.
But they do check you for symptoms. There was like a temperature check.
Oh, that was sort of lost on me. But we do have to do the 14-day quarantine. So now we are going to go to a taxi that my mom has kindly arranged for us,
Yep.
which should be waiting for us somewhere close to the bus stop.
Legend has it.
Better enjoy these last few moments of freedom. Quarantine
Yep.
is coming for us. That is perfect timing. The little elastic band just broke. Perfect
Oh, my
timing.
face.
Yeah, it's a little bit numb, like from wearing it for, I guess, close to many hours straight. Except for dinner? Lunch? Dinner.
Except for lunch, dinner, breakfast. How long did we do about? 27 hours door to door, approximately?
I think it was 27 hours door to door.
Pretty long, pretty tough.
And now we are at our new quarantine home.
Yep.
We
We're
are
at a friend's house. They are gone for 2 weeks at their vacation house, so we have
They've kindly offered us to stay here. Yuri and Alicia, if you're watching this, you are legends. Thank you so much. Also guys, please don't forget about our special offer for Surfshark. 85% off, 3 months for free, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description box below to grab the discount. We're probably gonna make a few quarantine videos.
Yeah.
So you will definitely watch us in action while we are here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.